Hello everybody, Average Gamer here. Welcome to a patch review. So this is a patch review for Supreme Ruler Ultimate, and the patch number is 9.1.138. As you can see right here. So if you don't have that number, you ain't up to date and patch it. So in this patch, there was some multiplayer works and tweaks and fixes and work on. Some big things in my eyes in regards to gameplay function and UI, which is going to be, in my eyes, the big thing, and a whole lot to later. New game content, in other words, there's some multiplayer maps to replace the old Islands map, or the old Islands map. There's now more Islands maps. And some updates to the scenario creator, asset manager, and procedural generation of the map editor as well. So, whole updates to that. What do you need to know about all of this? If you like playing multiplayer, now the host has the ability to kick players. We're actually going to try and set up a multiplayer match here. I shouldn't see anybody. But yeah, so you can make the lobby invisible. Basically, that's like closing the lobby. There you go. You have the ability to kick players. The now host migrates. So if I crash and someone else is playing they are then the host, and it moves around as if people have issues. Save games can now be transferred from the host to the next person, to whoever is basically joining them, which is pretty good in my eyes. The chat pop-up has been fixed, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a country here real quick. Do this. Okay, I've hit it. We're gonna enter. Go hello. So the chat up there, it's been updated a little bit. This also looks a lot differently. You can actually say who you're, you can actually whisper to people as well through this. But right now, I'm the only one, neutrals, allies, etc. I like it. That's that. So now what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna quit here. So overall, actually, that's the other thing too. So your Steam name, actually, if we go back there, you guys should see it. Now shows up properly. So it's no longer for me. It was showing up as Constable 559 for the longest time, because that's my actual Steam name. But because I changed it 3 or 4 years back to Average Gamer, I can now actually use that in this game, which is something I really like. What we're going to do here to show up the next part, actually what we're going to do is we're going to go into the scenario. So the new scenarios are down here. Select scenario, go all the way to the bottom. So there's 12A. So this is a multiplayer map or even single player map scenario with 12 different regions. Here's 4 regions, 6 regions, and then 6 regions again. They're all based off of the scenario editor, and they're all very nice maps. I have to admit, I like them all. They're all really good. I expect a different video going over all 6 maps and how fun they are. You can actually kind of see the idea here of what's going on. Though this isn't actually a map of Canada, for example. Like if I actually open it up, you can see here, it's just a RNG generated, if I'm not mistaken, map, which I really like. Nice big map. It's fun. It looks good. It feels amazing. And overall, I like them quite a bit, actually. I only have one issue, and it's this issue right here, which I don't know if that's an issue with the scenario generator or what. But other than that, that's the only problem I can see. Fun maps. I can see lots of good multiplayer games coming out of this. Hopefully this makes a lot of people go, oh my gosh, I can now make my own scenarios and my own maps. Because the modding tools have been updated. So they've redesigned the scenario creator. So you can design new scenarios, new or existing region data can be changed up and modified, I think. And then region lists and map files also. So I believe you can also use existing maps to make basically alternative scenarios. So you can take the 1949 scenario and make it a 1950 scenario. Then take that scenario, make it a 60, a 70, an 80, and a 90 scenario, so 1990. and then 2000, etc., etc., etc. So we'd have basically scenarios for every 10 years, which would be very interesting. Procedure generated, the map that does the procedure generation has been updated as well. So now it supports assigning regions, placements of simple facilities. I'm assuming those are just their base facilities, and your transportation layer, basically your roads. But from what I've seen, if this is using the scenario editor or the procedural generation editor, it only does rail. I don't know if it does roads too. I'm going to assume it does both, but puts them together most likely. Yeah, and that's that for the modding stuff and multiplayer, really. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to load up my Vietnam game here. We are going to look at the new UI functions. The big, in my eyes, the big game-changing function, big game changer in the game. Overall just game content changes. So game content-wise, there's just been some data, some files at the back end have been changed up a little bit. In regards to just minor fixes and tweaks, no big deal. There's been some leadership updates in modern maps. So, for example, Mr. Bean in England. Well, not on this map, I don't think, but yeah, Margaret Thatcher, because I started in 49 on this scenario. But Mr. Bean, for example, in the Shattered World scenario, things like that. I think Macaroni is the leader of France, and he wasn't before. I think there was some issues with Poland. There was the wrong leader in there. I believe that was fixed. There's a couple leaders that were wrong that were updated and things like that, which is good. In the 1914 maps, so if you look at the hold on here, we're actually going to go back one. So if you've ever played the Brinksmanship, which is a scenario that you can play in sandbox or what have you, roads are created automatically in the game by events. So basically, you don't have to sit there and build road networks. They just naturally will occur over time. Now, one of the good things about that, which was one I like, is the fact that now, in the other 1914 scenario, it now does it as well. So now you can play the Great War, and roads will just be automatically generated in the background as time progresses. So like the Autobahn will be built and things like that, and those will just be naturally progressing. So you don't have to worry about building massive road networks if you don't want to, though I would still advise you to contemplate road networks as an idea and to do. If you go back here, we're going to go into our sandbox or our Vietnam game here. And we're going to talk about now the new UI, specifically the stuff down here, and the ability about the being able to release now colonies, nations as a colony, if you've annexed them. So first things first, this is something that I never thought I ever needed. The guys from BattleGoat, when they said they were doing UI updates in regards to the map filter, all the stuff down here, I was like, well, it's already pretty good. I don't think I really need it. But let's see what happens. Let's see what they come up with, etc., etc. Well, what they have come up with is amazing, awesome, intuitive. It feels good. I like how it looks, and I've actually already started using them a little bit more. So here, there's the elements of the map. So here it shows you can turn off the units on your map. So this is the elements on the map itself. So you can turn on and off units. Here you can turn on and off. Well, we'll have to zoom out for weather, I guess. You know, you can turn on and off the weather. Well, before it was just your regular tabs. On and off the map grid. I don't play with that on. No big deal. Line of sight, you can turn that on and off. And then capital stars, showing if they like you or not. So this is how they look in regards to relationship with you. And if you click it here, this shows you how they fit in the overall, political system. So here, Warsaw aligned or NATO aligned. Next up is the filters. So before, right, it was all just a whole bunch of buttons down here at the bottom. And if you wanted supply, you had to go through and remember which one was supply. Well, not anymore. You just hit filters, supply levels, your empire, your diplomatic relations. Now, what you can use in relation to this as well. But I mean, to be 100% honest, that is always that color, whatever it's going to be. So you can use either, like I personally would probably use capital stars and have diplomatic relations turned off. Ownership, so here's everyone that owns territory, loyalty territory, thetas, belzoons, garrisons, defensive terrain, close combat, high ground, rivers, coastlines, etc. Which is all pretty good. And then your commodities, you know, your population, uranium, petroleum, rubber, etc., etc., etc. All the stuff that you need to get that country going. It's right there. Bam. Now, all that is good and amazing and awesome. Props goes to the guys from Battle Goat with that, because now that I've seen that, that is something that I already know I'm going to be using ridiculously. But this is something I'm going to show you right now that's even better in my eyes. Something that will possibly change a lot of the ways a lot of people will be playing the game. And that is, you can now release annexed territories as colonies. So you can go around, invade everybody, and then release everyone's loyalties to those nations. And it's super easy, and it also comes with another UI change. So before, if you wanted to release a country, you had to left click, double click over here, bring up their information, and you could deal with them however you wanted as a dead nation. The old way to release a country, if you want to release its territory, was to first left click in the land. You have to be in the land tab, obviously. Left click, see the map. You would double click it, close, and then go to, I believe it's this page. No. Oh my gosh. You go to severe actions, and then you would have to say release loyal land. You would then be able to release that territory as a dead nation. Now, you right click on it. You see the little flag here. Left click. That's it. You double click, it opens the folder up. If you just simply right click and then left click on the flag, it opens it up for you. Here's where it gets even better. Let's go to severe actions. Well, Sarawak, I really don't want to have to worry about managing it. It's on the other side of this South China Sea. It's a territory that I'm really not too concerned with at this moment. I'm going to release it. What is this new option you see? Well, it's the ability to release it as a colony. Click that. We now have Vietnam Sarawak as a nation in the game. Diplomatic offer. Hey, you want some units? Oh, you want some units? Well, here's the next UI feature that to me is amazing. Here's my infantry units. Oh, my light infantry, blah, 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 blah. Well, I want to get rid of my light infantry. Sort by type. Or sort by location. I can now pick location or type. If you go by type, it will automatically put the worst unit at the very top. So I can say, hey, I want to get rid of all my really crappy units. Now, this is harder because I don't have it set up properly myself, my military, but what you could do with this new ability is set up a base. We'll say inside a hip here. We could, what is it saying? There's something there. Oh, there might be like a destroyed bridge there or something. And what you can do, I'm actually going to use some cheats here real quick. There we go. You didn't know all this because I changed it all while I was going to do some streaming, so, or record, or this. So we usually play on all very hard. Break ground. I think that should be good enough. If I go here and say I just want a barracks, so we're gonna do a military complex. We're also gonna do a barracks. What I'm also gonna do is go into my units option here, and I'm gonna tell, I don't know, all these old M11 M113 knockoffs that, you know what, honestly, I don't, or not M113, sorry, our light infantry vehicles. We're going to tell all our light infantry, hey, honestly, we don't really need you anymore. You're not pulling your weight anymore in comparison to how much you cost me versus, you know, what you're doing. Now what I can do is let that build, which shouldn't take long because I'm kind of cheating in the stuff for it. So we can release colonies, which is amazing. And then what you can do is once this is all done, there we go. I believe it's, well, the mothball base. Boom. So this is now the mothball base. So now, oh. I'm just going to get these guys here. Tell them to go into reserve there. What I can do now is be like, okay, so what I want to do is sell anything from my mothball base. So I can actually say, well, oh, it does. Interesting. Okay. Well, there's my mothball base there. Now, mind you, we're doing it via... Okay, so if we went by unit location, I wonder if numbers take precedence over letters. I never actually checked that out. First mothball base. Okay, now let's try that. Go back to Sarawak here. Nope. So numbers don't take precedence. So here it's going by... Sort by location. Maybe I can just collect them like that. I'd say alphabetized, but that doesn't actually work. There's probably a way to get that to show up at the top. But yeah, so you can actually say, hey, everything at first mothball base is units that I've already decided are being sold. And go through it, and there you go. You can actually kind of make your decisions a lot easier as to what you're selling now by the specific locations, which is good. And honestly, I think that's going to change up a lot of things. Being able to release nations as colonies, that means you don't really have to manage them. I'm trying to find a location that has a military base. So, like, for example, I think this is... Really? This is Malaya? Really? I thought this was going to be, I'm trying to remember the name of the territory in the Great War scenario, but I guess I'm wrong. Let me click you then. And say, release you as a colony. Now, I keep the military bases, which are good. So, just like as if you puppeted it. Nice. And now what'll happen is, as they produce things and do stuff, all your stuff will be sent to you automatically, which is amazing, awesome, and nice. So this will change gameplay quite a bit. If I'm not mistaken, when you now build military facility, you can also build, military facilities on your colonies. Build military. Yeah. So if you go to build a military complex on one of your islands, for example, we'll say this one. The moment this is building is like, yeah, see, you place it down, and it immediately becomes your territory. Now, if I'm not mistaken, though, if this nation then gets independence, they take the territory from you, I believe. Yeah. So once you liberate them and give them independence, they get everything within their borders that has their cores, I guess you could say, on them. So you have to remember that part too. The moment you give them independence, they get everything in their your territory, or within their borders, basically. Whatever they have a core on, they're getting it back. So you always got to remember that. One of the good things is when you do give them independence and all that stuff, they love you. Like they're gonna be happy with you right away. So this to me is a way that I could go conquer the entire world, give everyone colonies, shrink back to my original country, and then just give everyone independence. Or let everyone gain their independence on their own. And yeah, so there you go. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully, there will be another patch later this summer, which apparently there might be. If there is, we will be taking a look at that. We will be streaming again Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard to do some more Supreme Ruler Ultimate. Supreme Ruler The Great War as the Australasian Empire. Trying to stretch out those muscles and start invading more and more and more countries around us. Well, with that in mind, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.